The Gering City Council looking at a new levy to help cover an anticipated $250,000 budget shortfall. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Gering City Council directed Finance Director Renee Jimenez to add a 5-cent public safety levy to the budget document that's being developed for the upcoming fiscal year. Council members last night made that direction clear on an informal 6-2 tally as they worked with staff to try to close an anticipated 2021 shortfall of about $250,000. Mayor Tony Kaufman supported the idea, saying the levy would amount to about $50 annually for a property valued at $100,000.
We're talking $50 for every $100,000 evaluation, so I mean that's a pretty reasonable cost for what Chief Holvis and his crew do for our community and making sure that they're equipped, and also Chief Flowers and what they provide for our community.
The directive to staff was among many considered during the Monday workshop. Although a 3-cent reduction in the general levy was proposed as part of the public safety levy, Council told her to leave the current levy of .2927 intact. The Council also agreed to a 5% reduction in electric rates, leaving the increases in water and sewer rates agreed upon at a prior workshop in place. Those who use more than the baseline of utilities in a given month would ultimately see their overall bill decrease as electricity usage increases. Well, as lightning-sparked wildfires continue to ignite across the country of the tinder dry western U.S., fire officials in Nebraska's Pine Ridge District have so far been fortunate. District Ranger Tim Buskirk told KNEB News, like many agencies, they have people helping out with other wildfires, but so far the Pine Ridge has only seen a couple of small fires over the past few months.
I think we're doing all right now. We've got some folks out in Colorado right now helping on the fires down there. But this time of year, we always ensure that we keep at least enough folks to man one engine, at least here out of the Shattering office, and then kind of, readjust from there. We're actually doing some talks about, bringing some resources from the central part of the state where it's still a little bit greener, bringing them out here so they can help us out if we need them.
He adds that right now their biggest issue is finding the balance in being able to help out other areas while maintaining resources to quickly address any fires that develop at home. Well, coming up after the break, Bill Boyer will be in with your Tuesday evening forecast. We'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That's why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by to talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
Take your career to the next level with Cheyenne State College's online Master of Business Administration program, taught by experienced professors who care about your success. The accredited, fully online MBA program is backed by CSC's more than 100 years of education leadership. Flexible 8-week courses let you work at your own pace wherever you are, and CSC's experienced professors are committed to your success. Cheyenne State College, real people, real results. Join us today at csc.edu.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, a whole bunch of the same. Hazy conditions through the area this evening and into the overnight hours, and back at it again tomorrow. Those areas of smoke and haze are going to continue for a couple of days. You're going to start to see them lessen some. That should say slightly cooler weekend. We'll just say there, cooler weekend. 2 more hot days coming up, and then big changes are coming into next weekend. My fingers get a little fat once in a while and miss some letters, apparently. 100 yesterday after a morning low of 63, well above normal. Nothing in the rain gauge. We're over an inch and over 5 inches short for the month and year. And yes, it has been hot. Take a look at the last 2 weeks. 98 here to start. We have one little day there on the 14th of August when it was 89. Otherwise, we've been above 95 and above 100 several times over the course of the last 2 weeks. So it has certainly been very hot here across the region, and it remains very hot. 95 in McCook, 91 in Hayes. However, the real baking temperatures are in our area from northern portions of Nebraska, southern South Dakota, into the Panhandle. 102 in Chadron, 102 in Valentine, 101 in Oshkosh and Scotts Bluff, 100 in Alliance. Winds out of the south, 10 to 20 off in the Sand Hills, mostly under 10 miles an hour in the rest of the region. Severe weather threats are going to be highest here in the east, and then off to our north we have a marginal risk of severe storms. That's going to be a recurring theme as we go into tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center's drug this a little further south into portions of the Panhandle. Storm chances are going to go up, but we're still talking an isolated 1 or 2 storms tomorrow. Maybe a slightly better chance on Thursday. And the Storm Prediction Center actually has a slight risk of severe weather out. We'll keep an eye on Thursday. I still think coverage is going to be pretty isolated as we go across the day on Thursday. Tonight, just a few clouds overhead early, partly cloudy skies generally. Only other issue we have out there is smoke and haze, and temperatures are going to be in the 60s overnight tonight for lows. And we're going to be right back to warm tomorrow. Probably not quite as hot, though, for most of us. Maybe shave 5 or 6 degrees off the temperature for highs today. Still going to be pretty hot. There comes some afternoon isolated thunderstorms across the region. Coverage, again, going to be pretty sparse. Lots of space between the storms. And here goes those high temps back into the low 100s around Oshkosh and Ogallala. Upper 90s for most of the rest of us. So still plenty hot, but again, a little cooler than where we were this morning, and rain chances, or where we were today rather, rain chances going to be pretty scant here across the region. So a stray storm possible, otherwise just areas of smoke and haze. 64 tonight for a low. Tomorrow, same situation, areas of smoke and haze, still hot, but cooler, 98. A late day storm or two going to be around the forecast area again tomorrow, and pretty much continue to repeat that same forecast into Thursday with highs in the upper 90s. But notice Friday, Saturday, we cool off into the upper 80s, maybe some low 90s in on Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, that's when the bigger changes get here. Temperatures in the mid and upper 70s. Lows at night could fall into the upper 40s as we get much cooler and much needed reprieve from this long stretch of hot weather we've had here across the region.
Hey Scotts Bluff, everyone's favorite mascot is here with some tips to help your child wear a mask. Tip number 1, let them pick it out. Let kids choose the color or fabric for their mask so they can show their personal style. Tip number 2, wear it properly. Teach your child to put their mask on correctly, making sure it covers the nose, mouth, and chin. Tip number 3, practice makes perfect. Start wearing the mask at home for short periods of time to help your child adjust to it. Wear it during fun activities and gradually work up to longer amounts of time. Tip number 4, use play. You can use household items to make a play mask for a favorite stuffed toy or doll. Encourage kids to play dress up as a doctor, nurse, or veterinarian while wearing a mask. And tip number 5, be a mask role model. Wear a mask yourself and explain how it keeps both you and others safe. Remember, wearing a mask along with good hand hygiene and social distancing will help decrease the spread of COVID-19 in our community. Green is the goal, so let's get there together. Mask up, Bearcats!
At 21st Century Equipment, we're proud to introduce the new Build Your Own tool. Build the John Deere you've been wanting and see how affordable it really is. Visit 21stcenturyequipment.net to build your own compact utility tractor, mower, or gator. It's easy to add implements, attachments, and view financing options. Build the exact tractor for your needs at a price you can afford, all from the comfort and safety of home, with the new Build Your Own tool at 21stcenturyequipment.net.
Unified Command announcing 23 new positive cases of COVID-19 and 26 recoveries during their Monday afternoon briefing. The new cases include 13 cases in Dawes, 5 in Scottsbluff, 2 in Sheridan County, and 1 new case each in Cheyenne, Garden, and Morrill counties. The recoveries included 15 in Dawes, 10 in Scottsbluff, and 1 in Sheridan counties. Through Monday evening, the Panhandle has seen 567 positive cases, 481 recoveries, 6 deaths, leaving 80 active cases, including 38 in Scottsbluff County, 29 in Dawes County, 3 in Box Butte and Sheridan, 2 each in Morrill, Garden, and Cheyenne counties, and 1 lone case in Dual County. Well, the 29-year-old Scottsbluff man has been sentenced to the mandatory minimum of 3 years in prison after selling meth to a CI working for the Wing Drug Task Force. Sergio Chariz was caught selling a total of 15.7 grams of meth on 2 occasions last November and had a stolen handgun visible during the second transaction. He ultimately pleaded guilty to charges of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person and distribution of an exceptionally hazardous drug. In exchange for his guilty plea, prosecutors dismissed a second drug case against him. Chariz received 3 years on the weapon conviction and 1 year on the drug conviction, with the 2 sentences to run concurrently. And a Torrington woman is seriously injured after possibly getting struck by a vehicle in Cheyenne. Cheyenne police say 67-year-old Ann Miner was found laying in the roadway around 8:30 last night on Frontier Mall Drive, and EMS transported her to the hospital. Police are asking anyone with information about this case to contact Cheyenne Police Detective Zach Johnson at 307-637-6502. Well, coming up after the break, Shabella Guzman in with a check-in on Ag News. She'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Lee's Heads.
At TC & More in Scottsbluff, we have toys and puzzles for your children, or they make a great gift. TC & More has craft activities, pretend play toys, and dozens of puzzles and games for all ages. We also have the largest supply of Melissa and Doug toys. And we still carry all of your classroom essentials. Remember to like TC & More on Facebook. TC & More, 1621 Broadway, beautiful downtown Scottsbluff.
Home buying is filled with decisions. Neighborhood, floor plan, fenced yard. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home. Home buying is filled with decisions. Square feet, fixer-upper, room to grow. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
The Nebraska Dry Bean Growers Association and the UNL Panhandle Research and Extension Center hosted its annual agricultural research and technology tour last week at the Extension Center in Scottsbluff. I took the 21st Century KNEB farm truck to the event. Brian Kamen, chair of the Nebraska Dry Bean Commission, says the commission uses the checkoff dollars to fund research for farmers.
Irrigation is extremely important in this area, not just in times of drought, but just in general. I mean, as far as weed control, Palmer amaranth is moving into this area from the southeast, and it is definitely going to impact the dry bean industry. Soil science and health, all the research that we fund is for the health of the dry bean industry overall, especially the growers, because without the growers, we don't have a dry bean industry.
Along with the various speakers and topics, Carlos Uria, Nebraska Extension dry bean specialist, says they will be releasing some new varieties this year.
Okay, I have a slow darkening pinto, NE217 18, and also Great Northern bean, NE11710. And beside that, I have another Great Northern bean and two slow darkening beans with upright plant architecture that are going to be this coming for the further releases. And right now we have breeder seed increases at both experimental locations.
Uria says the upright qualities are becoming common in new releases as the dry bean industry moves more and more towards direct harvest.
Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can focus on what matters most. Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can earn more, save more, and do more.
As our world has changed, the way we stay connected looks different than before. Even though our communities and classrooms face new challenges and uncertainties, Viera Wireless is here to help your kids keep learning, in the classroom or at home. For less than 35 cents a day, our Student Unlimited plan has nationwide talk, text, and data, hotspot internet, and a free smartphone with no credit approval required. Learn more at viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viera Wireless, keeping you connected.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. treatment you need and care you deserve.
Why are Bearcats masking up this year?
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That's why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by to talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
And finally tonight, Nebraska Education Commissioner Matthew Bloomstead is advising schools to be flexible with students, families, and their plans. Bloomstead gave an update yesterday on the start of the new school year during a news conference hosted by Governor Pete Ricketts.
One of the probably ongoing efforts and everything that we'll watch is, hey, look, if something's not working, we've really encouraged schools to adapt and adapt their plans based on what they think is ultimately best.
Bloomstead says procedures will change with the environment, and plans should change as we learn more about what works and what doesn't. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.